So welcome back to Great Guitar Lessons with Barry Werhoftig, and that's me. Today's lesson, we're going to do the lead and the rhythm for Ashokan Farewell, which is a wonderful piece. It was originally done on violin, and it's in the Civil War series on the PBS. And my good friend Rob Swift, who you know, Robert Swift, is going to play some rhythm, help me out on this. So I hope you enjoy it. 1, 2. Okay, so I'm going to break down the rhythm to Ashokan Farewell, and you can find this on my Patreon page. You can find the notation, of course, and I'm going to break it down in 8-bar phrases for you, okay, to make it digestible. So we start off, and we're in drop D tuning. So we start off with the D chord, and I'm playing bass chord, and then D over F sharp, G, E minor, D again, B minor, E minor to A. The next 8-bar phrase, D and then D 7th with an A in the bass, then G, E minor, D to B minor to A to close out this section, A 7th. The next section, here the next 8 bars, D again, D with F sharp in the bass, G to a D, stay on the D, B minor to A, next section D to C, G to D, stay on the D, B minor, and it ends A 7th, D. So there's really 2 ways to play the accompaniment or the rhythm for this piece for Ashokan Farewell. One way to play it, as I already said, was to play bass note and then chord twice as quarter notes, and it's in 3/4. It's a waltz. So it would be, for instance, bass. You can play your open E string, which is a D, bass, chord, and then add the F sharp in the bass. Now, F sharp, and then the D. Same thing for G, etc. But you could also, just as Rob did when he accompanied me, you could also just go and not separate the bass, just kind of strum it all together as quarter notes. And that works well too. You might want to really try playing it both ways and just see which way that you like better. So now I'm going to play the accompaniment, the chords to the entire piece, and I invite you to play along using the notation on my Patreon page. Okay, so now I'm going to break down the lead to Ashokan Farewell. So, and you can follow along, of course, with the notation and tablature on my Patreon page. So. So now if I break that down slowly, we're starting on an A on the 10th fret of the 2nd string, and we're going to a C sharp, the 9th fret of the 1st string. So, and then we're going up to a D. There's a lot of little embellishments. I'll actually play that phrase again. I'll show you a little trill that's really written into the piece. So there's a little trill that you can do there. I'm hammering on from the 7th fret F sharp on the 2nd string to the G right next to it, right above it. And you can slide up and down. So I'm going there from a D on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. I'm sliding to the B on the 4th fret of the 3rd string and then back up. So that whole phrase with the little doodads, the little embellishments would be and then continuing to the B on the 3rd string, which is 7, 8, 9th fret. So there we're using a D arpeggio really. I'm just playing the 7th fret on the 4th string, 3rd and the 2nd. F sharp, changing positions to the A, 2nd string, 10th fret, and then going to the D, still on the 10th fret, now the 1st string, and then the high F sharp, which is the 14th fret of the 1st string. So that whole phrase, that whole part of the phrase would be and here's the next phrase, full tempo. And that's really almost the same. It starts the same way. I'm going to do it slowly now. And it just ends differently. So that kind of makes it easier. So here, the 2nd phrase. Same arpeggio up to the 14th fret, F sharp on the high E string, but then now we're going to an A arpeggio. We're playing the A on the 2nd string, C sharp on the 1st string, and then the E on the 1st string, 12th fret, and then ending on the D, which is the 10th fret, 1st string. So the last phrase ends A, C sharp, E, and then to the D. The next phrase at full tempo. So, and slowly that phrase would be starting on the F sharp on the 2nd string, which is the 7th fret. going up to the D. I'll do that once more. So again, from the F sharp on the 2nd string, 7th fret, up to the D. Now we're shifting to the 5th fret, to the A, and then B, which is the 7th fret, C sharp, D, and now A to F sharp on the 2nd string. And there's a little trill there too, which kind of makes it sound nice. So that phrase would be trill. And there I'm playing the F sharp 2nd string, shifting to the E on the 5th fret, and then the 7th fret on the 3rd string. Here I'm shifting down to the 4th fret of the 3rd string for the B, and I'll play that phrase again. F sharp, shift to E, to the D. Now the B, I'm playing on the 3rd string, and then ending up on an A. Okay, so I'm playing the B here. This is where the chord is B minor. So I'm playing B, a little trill up to a C, or leave that out. You can play it actually simply without that, to the G on the 4th string, 5th fret, and then you could go to the A on the 7th fret, and then jump right up to the 1st string A, which is the 5th fret, and then D, F sharp, A, C, it's the 8th fret, B, C sharp, D, A, F sharp, D. And then our good old D arpeggio again, 7th fret. But this time, instead of going up to the 14th fret for the F sharp there, we're playing the F sharp on the 2nd string, 7th fret. Okay, so that last phrase would be C, B, C sharp, D, A, F sharp, D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. Now the F sharp here on the 2nd string, and then E, D, C sharp, D. Okay, so now I'm going to play the lead again slowly, and I'm going to call out the chords, or the root of the chord, basically, as I play, okay? This is a good way to learn how to tie the neck of the guitar together, too, okay? Because, you know, good players know, we know which note we're going to play before we play it, okay? So it demystifies the guitar. So, the first chord, of course, is a D, and it comes in on a pickup. When I get there, it's a D chord with an F sharp in the bass. G chord, E minor, and now D. And we're actually playing a D arpeggio, which is kind of cool. The D arpeggio continues, but the next chord here is actually B minor. So that phrase, it goes now B minor, and now it's an E minor chord. Now it's an A chord. Next phrase starts the same way, except it's a D chord. Now this chord is a D7th over an A bass. So that phrase, G again, E minor, D chord, B minor chord, now an A chord. And this song is really cool in the sense that it's almost, very often it's using the arpeggios of the chords. So when we have an A7th chord, right there, where to end the phrase, the notes of the chord, the notes we play in the lead are A, C sharp, E, which are the 3 notes in a D triad, and then it ends on the D, which is a D chord. So the next phrase has a little pickup again, D chord, now D over F sharp, now a G chord, D, D chord, B minor to an A, stays on A, and now D again. Now here's where the C comes in, which is really cool, where our ear kind of goes, wow, that's so different. You know, it introduces the C chord right there to a G chord, back to a D chord, stay on the D, another D triad, B minor, now to F sharp in the melody, to an A seventh, to a D. So I want to thank you all for watching my lesson on Ashokan Farewell, and please feel free to comment. You know, go to the comment section and tell me what you think of this, okay? And I know this might seem like a little bit of a tricky piece to learn for some people. This is why I wanted to break it down and make it as easy as possible. So it's important to feel good about your playing too. So don't be too hard on yourself. Be kind to yourself. And please share my page, get people to like it and share and that kind of thing. And again, let me know how you did with it. Let me know if you have questions and comments. Thanks so much. Barry Werhoftig here. Take care.